after a sailor reportedly tried to jump overboard. Tammy Trujillo with the story.
But Admiral Brad Cooper said the ship had the lowest reported number of cases related to mental health out of all 11 active carriers. Cooper visited the ship on Saturday, which has been on a record deployment at sea in support of the war with Iran. Cooper called his visit awe-inspiring and praised the crew for making mental health a leadership priority. The USS George Washington is on its way to the Middle East to relieve the Lincoln. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
President Trump wants to scale back joint military exercises with South Korea following Seoul's refusal to join the fight against Iran. More from Rory O'Neill.
In a Truth Social post touting his very good relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, President Trump said military exercises with South Korea are, quote, totally inappropriate and hostile. Trump said North Korea's Kim has been, quote, unthreatening and respectful, unquote, throughout his presidency. President Trump claims South Korea rejected his offer to join in on the denuclearization of Iran. I'm Rory O'Neill.
A weakened tropical storm Lala is moving westward away from the main Hawaiian Islands today after leaving behind a trail of destruction. At least one person has died. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Well, good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time here on ON, AM, and FM and Woonie TV on Monday morning, August the 17th. Thanks for joining us this morning on this wet Monday morning. This is Joe Callahan, and at the Coffee Ann table, John Ward's checking his phone right there. Hey, John.
Hello, Joe.
Hello.
Good morning, Dave.
And Dave Richards is here. Hi, Dave.
Good morning, John. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to be
Nice to
seen.
be
as
seen.
Not
it is.
necessarily the loveliest day out there weather-wise, but not bad.
My squash and corn and tomatoes
Are
will
enjoying
all
the
appreciate
weather?
this.
Oh, I bet.
My dog's not so much.
Well, I'm glad Dave is here, John, because I had to laugh a little over the weekend because what we were talking about last Friday, Dave, if you remember correctly, it's the whole and John, you may have an opinion on this as well. It's the whole flock camera situation going around. Some cities and towns don't want it.
We now have a smoking gun.
But
for all the nattering nabobs of
after we
negativism.
went off the air, that story went live on Channel 12's website. And it's because I brought it up. I said, I believe we should have flock cameras. I said, is there going to be a rogue cop somewhere that's going to use it nefariously?
Of course.
Yes, there is. And Dave, like Dave likes to say, he's Pollyanna and doesn't think it's going to happen.
Guess what?
And doesn't it happen? Yes, John?
There are people who use guns the way they shouldn't be used.
But down in New Bedford, a police officer being accused of tracking a former girlfriend using flock cameras.
Yeah.
Officer Emily Pacheco's former girlfriend says Pacheco searched her license plate after they broke up in April. Got to find out where she's going and who she's with and who she's seeing.
But the weakness here is not anything to do with the cameras. And it's a question of, does the policy for that police department allow for appropriate discipline for the people who violate the rules?
Well, the judge extended an abuse prevention order for 6 months on Thursday and barred Pacheco from possessing a gun. That's the officer.
Which means she can't work.
Yeah.
But
A sworn police officer has to have a gun on them.
What is the city of New Bedford and their police department's rules, and how are they being enforced? Because
I don't know.
in our city,
Yeah.
if you get Chief Oates in here, he will tell you that the rules are very rigid, and if someone is caught, there is discipline.
Yeah. Well, she's been suspended. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Police have suspended the flock cameras. So we're blaming the cameras and not the officer.
Cameras. Yeah.
We're reviewing the system and investigation.
As a matter of fact, I just saw a
possible
gun
misuse.
walking down the street looking for somebody
A
to
gun?
shoot at. And of course, It's
Now, John.
and because 30,000 people a year die in car accidents, we need to eliminate cars.
Now, on the other hand, in a similar case, and a little closer to home, Cumberland has 10 flock cameras installed, and according to Chief Matthew Benson of Cumberland, they've helped his department track down, quote, dangerous individuals and solve cases. But a federal lawsuit has been filed on behalf of an East Providence woman who claims she was wrongfully arrested by Cumberland police after the flock cameras incorrectly identified her. Okay.
As a person or
Yes.
as a license plate?
No, as a person.
Yeah, that's not what flock cameras are meant to do.
It's been more than a year since Eva Pizzarelli was pulled over in East Providence for an alleged traffic violation, and what started as a routine stop ended with her in handcuffs. Now, her attorney, and I'm reading this off Channel 12's website, her attorney, Jose Batista, says the arrest stemmed from an incident in Cumberland involving another vehicle that was not registered to his client or connected to her in any way. Cumberland police said the two cars were involved in a chase that eventually crossed into Massachusetts, but not before an officer saw a white woman with red hair behind the wheel.
Whoa, that's not flock.
Oh, but Batista alleged the lawyer alleged the officers then used images from flock cameras and social media to link the vehicle to Pizzarelli. Okay. Now, the town declined to comment on the pending litigation, but responded to the initial complaint. In their response, the town denied Pizzarelli's claim that probable cause rested solely on social media, but did admit the sergeant named in the case failed to contact the person the car was registered to and another person with connection to the car who was said to be friends with Pizzarelli on social media.
That sounds to me like there was a lot of things done that were outside of what the scope of flock camera use is for.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way,
Yes, Dave.
this part of this conversation, because I really don't know what I'm talking about here. I thought I ran across something in a news article over the weekend. Let's see if anybody else did. Where there is somewhere on the internet you can go, and it will say, check your flock cameras in your city. A website proposing to show you flock camera images.
The only thing I can think it would do would show you the
Which the
locations of your flock cameras in your city.
The what-y?
Show you the locations. I can look up the locations of the flock cameras.
Oh, sure you can.
Not that it's hard to find because
When Chief Oates was here, we
I
grilled
know.
him on this before it was approved in Woonsocket and afterwards. And
as we did on the council.
exactly. And he says, it's funny, this news article that came on our wire service this morning, it said that New Bedford saying that they've suspended it temporarily.
Yes.
The flock people are saying we're going to amend it and include a feature that you have to attach when you go to log in. When I say you, I mean an authorized officer of the law goes to log into Flock to use it for work purposes. They have to associate it with an active file
case.
number
Yes.
of an investigation that is ongoing. Now, it could be from another department, or it could be from their department, but it has to be some number.
A specific
assigned,
investigation.
Right. They assign every investigation a number for paperwork purposes. Now, we were told that that was the case last year. But now they're
again-
saying here, well, we're going to improve it by doing that.
Well,
I don't. That's crazy for me.
I think part of the problem may be that not every community has established a set of parameters for operation and rules. The one thing that the Flock system does do is the thing that's never mentioned in these articles is Flock, by its design, only holds images for 30 days unless
Right.
an image is
And then gone.
specifically targeted as part of an investigation or a criminal charge or case where it has to be retained as evidence. Otherwise, it vanishes. And then the other important part of this is, do the police departments have guidelines and rules? And then finally, the one feature of Flock that is permanent and forever is the audit trail. So if you are, as was that officer, stalking someone, and they do through a review of their audit trail, they will find that one officer doing things that are out of the norm, and maybe question them and then get to the bottom of what's going on.
Okay.
So there is always the chance to stop people from doing the wrong thing. Throwing out the cameras I'm sorry, I commented on this on a Facebook post that there were people talking about constitutional rights and intrusions and all this stuff, and it's like
It's already passed all those tests.
People who are community leaders who are getting rid of FLOC or suspending its use are overreacting and are fools, because as properly used, it has become a very useful tool for the city of Woonsocket to identify situations where somebody who has committed a crime and is being sought or has warrants is identified by location and can more easily be apprehended.
But John, you were a public official. You ran for election. You know what the realities are. If you're a sitting public elected official on a excuse me, on a city or town council, and your constituency is acting irrationally and listening to and believing the words of barroom lawyers and sensationalists, what do? Do you not react to your constituency? Do you react to your constituency? You shut them down and then maybe go back to them when cooler heads prevail? What do you do?
Once you're not an elected official, you simply call them fools. But when you are an elected,
Which you just did, yeah.
When you are an elected official, you have to be a little more
Circumspect.
circumspect.
Yeah.
Was just the word I was thinking of about it. And I think the thing that becomes important then is, because of this big brouhaha that's going on, I think it's important for either the administration or the council to have the chief and whoever's responsible for the top responsible party for the daily operation of the FLOC system to come to a council meeting, broadcast it on the radio stations, broadcast it everywhere.
I'll help with that.
Notify the news with a press release, and have them do a presentation at a council meeting that's televised.
Well, here's a rhetorical
And
question.
broadcast.
All right, here's a rhetorical question for you, John. Do you want to know what the ACLU feels about this?
I don't
I'm
have
going to tell you anyway.
You don't have, no, you go ahead and tell the
Well,
audience. You're not telling me
obviously
anything.
they're against them.
Of course.
FLOC cameras capture the license plate and other identifying information of every vehicle that passes them by, but groups like the ACLU have been pushing back against them, saying they were never advertised as being able to capture images of the people
As I
inside the
said.
car. Now they
In
say,
fact, we were told
Yeah.
that they would not.
well, but now they're going. This is the Cumberland one, because the FLOC cameras were able to capture an image of somebody inside the car, which is why they're saying that woman was arrested
And that
incorrectly.
that may have been inadvertent, because in the circumstance that person may have gotten out of the car, or the car was being taken a photo. It doesn't matter. They're not supposed to use it.
No, front license plate. It is possible, in my imagination. Imagine a motorcycle. You could see the person on the motorcycle very plainly. Inside a car, you could perhaps see somebody through a windshield when you were hitting the license plate.
But again, even if you do, it would be unwise of an officer
use it?
to use that as the basis to
I guess that's
take
the,
somebody
that's the
into
basis
custody.
of the lawsuit, that
Yeah.
they did use it.
Well, yeah, that's
Okay.
they used it wrong.
Okay.
So
All
you
right.
know, you gotta put in policies, you gotta put in rules, you gotta train people properly, and then you have to enforce it. And it's a heavy lift, because you're dealing with a lot of people, and people are emotional beings, and circumstances will sometimes grab somebody and drag them along a path they shouldn't go down.
All right, before we take our first break here in the Coffee and program, just one more story I'm going to bring up. Dave, out where you grew up, out there, they had a fire on a boat on the Pasco Reservoir.
I grew up just a few hundred yards
feet,
from
yeah.
that body of water.
All right. The Pasco Fire District says community members helped everyone get off the vessel safely before the fire crews arrived. The cause of the fire has not been released and is not yet clear whether anyone was injured. They also say the boat had a full tank of gas. How did they know that? Other than asking the boat owner,
Well,
when did
you
your last
see-
fill up?
Oh, yeah, well, somebody will say it.
Oh, okay. There's a full
You know,
tank.
or when the fire crew gets there, they want to know how much fuel is on board, so it might moderate their attack plans.
Nice picture.
That's fully engulfed that John is showing me. Well, I didn't.
Yep.
The whole boat's going on that one.
My sister has a picture.
Okay.
She lives on the lake.
A little excitement on the lake.
Yeah, makes you wonder. Discarded cigarette. Was it smoking stuff, or was there something wrong with the boat? They haven't said yet.
You never know. You never know about that.
Right.
But
All right.
Joe,
Yes,
before you go
yes,
off
yes,
here,
Dave.
I got to make mention. If you're listening in on Monday morning, there's still a power outage, which at one time was affecting 1,900 people in the north end of Woonsocket. in the Social Street and Diamond Hill Road area. We had another nasty 9-hour outage last Saturday, but we're back again with problems. And currently, the Rhode Island Energy outage map, which you can consult, there's a link for it right on the front page of WoonsocketRadio.com. Just scroll down till you see the icon and hit it. Customers currently without power, 535. And it's all in the area of the radio tower. And so those of you out there who are not listening to us on 1240 this morning, because it's off, or hey, you think we got problems, our friends on the north end of the city, they've got bigger problems than we have right now. But that's the situation, and I wanted everybody to know that we're watching it for you. We'll let you know when everything's back up.
All right, thanks, Dave. More Coffee Ants coming up. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
Your station for news and sports. ON 1240.
A new garage door can have a major effect on the appearance of your property. When you're ready, call Andy Bebo at Woonsocket Door Sales, in business since 1935. Woonsocket Door Sales installs and repairs all makes of doors and openers, as well as broken springs and cables. Service includes installation and free disposal of the old door. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Office located at 1 Biltmore Avenue, Cumberland. Reputation is important.
The Coffee Ant panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON AM and FM.
Coffee Ant on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Dave Richards and John Ward. And Dave, you wanted to bring something up about legislation that's going to happen at tonight's City Council meeting.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Dan didn't call in this morning. He many times does, and maybe he's confused because he's running for re-election. But anyway, we've gone through this before, so he may also have a situation at work where he has to attend meetings or something like that. We understand. Guy's got a life besides his council work, but I would have asked him this morning, and since John's here and he used to do that job, well, for the sake of conversation, we'll talk about it. Not like we can do anything about it, but we'll talk about it anyway. And I heard Dan say on his announcement regarding the agenda that the council will be looking at a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit on St. Leon Avenue. St. Leon Avenue and Winthrop Street are uncommon in as much as it's Winthrop Street from Elm all the way up to Morin Heights in the school. And then it's St. Leon Avenue, same road, but changes name to St. Leon Avenue from there to Diamond Hill.
Okay.
And right now, it is the main detour around the bridge construction. Because of the Peters River and the fact that you don't have good road coverage around it to the north, this comes in from the south, and this is a main detour. To get over to the radio towers or up Diamond Hill Road from there. And so 15 miles an hour, I understand why you want it. A 15-mile-an-hour speed limit that really isn't heated, is it better than a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit that is? Let's make it 5 miles an hour. And I'm a little heated about this.
Walkers only.
Yeah, right. Walkers only. As it stands now, a kid on a mini bike, an electric-powered mini bike, can go faster and violate the speed limit on that stretch of road right now. Believe me.
And you can't even catch him with a registration on a flock camera.
That's right.
Right. And John, the most effective speed deterrent is already in place on that road. Incredibly bad pavement.
Surface.
You agree with all that, John?
Incredibly bad payment. We haven't even tried speed bumps before we went to 15 miles an hour.
You don't need speed bumps. Just let the gas company and electric company and the water department come in and dig it up and patch it. And the patches, like if you go on Getchell Avenue right now,
but
there's so many patches that nobody goes over 15 because you'd wreck your car if you do.
We're sending hundreds of cars a day over that road, and now we're talking about 15. Not good enough. Well, we want to keep it permit. But whatever they were going to do with it.
You made the perfect point, Dave.
Yeah.
I have 15 at the corner of Night and Carnation, which is a joke. Nobody does it.
Night Incarnation. It's just a 90-degree turn.
The sign here that I just showed you on St. Leon is already posted at 15. For some reason, they need legislation. I don't get it. I would have thought there was legislation before the sign went up. And why is it that there are spaces of residential area that call for 15-mile-an-hour speed limits when a school zone, the most important at-risk environment for pedestrians and kids especially, are only 20?
Yeah.
So why would any speed limit be any less
than 20
if the lowest speed limit in the most high-risk area is 20? I don't get it. There should be no 15s.
Clear me up on something. Generally speaking, except in emergencies or some other really strange circumstance, a speed limit change, by the time it gets in front of the council as a sitting body, has already been vetted by public safety.
Well, yes. However,
which means the cops have got to be endorsing this.
Oftentimes, that is simply a reaction to neighborhood feedback or complaint volume and frequency that are complaining about it. And I'm sure the call for this 15-mile-an-hour speed limit has been increased by the detour, because many cars that go by there would have been going Diamond Hill Road, and they're in a rush and they want to get somewhere.
More cars.
So they're going probably 30, 35 down St. Leon and onto Winthrop.
Because now they're going to be late.
And so the people who live there probably started complaining, and I don't think the police would put themselves in a position of saying, well, yeah, but we think 20 would be fine. Yeah, they're not going to do that.
So it kind of like as a political thing, not political as an elected office, but in getting along with other people?
It's being responsive to the constituents in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. I'll get that.
All right.
But, then who's to stop anybody anywhere? Say, I want a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Well, look at all the four-way stops in the city that are a waste of time. Worse, look at all the three-way stops in the city that are a waste of time, because there are idiots that actually sit behind 3,600 pounds of metal driving it along and will come to a three-way intersection where they are at the cross street and the straight road is going by, and they will simply not stop and turn. And it's like, what mad person in their right mind would ever do something like that? But the public safety director, when I called it out at a council meeting, said, oh, you'd be amazed at how many people do that. And I say, okay, so they get in an accident. They caused it. They're at fault. Let them suffer. I don't care. Why should we inconvenience everybody with all these foolish stop signs? I mean, you go down the Francois Boulevard, every cross street has a four-way stop. I hope you got 15 minutes to get down one street.
I like the two-way stop and the one yield sign.
Oh, at Vernon Street?
Yeah, because the person with the yield sign stops. It tells you for me to go when I'm already stopped.
Well, that's because people don't know that a yield sign means only if somebody's already left the stop sign do you have to yield to their right of way.
Well, it's not an easy job, traffic flow. I get that. And forgive me if I seem just a little bit disrespectful here, but I think that there could be a little bit more logic. I mean, I've said this on the air before. Go ahead and laugh. I drive like a Pepe around town. I actually observe the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. How do I do it? My little gerbil car will do, what do they call it, cruise control at 25 miles an hour. Wow. And I set it for 25 miles an hour and let the cars pile up in back of me.
That's fine.
And I drive around the city that way, and I'm obeying the speed limit.
Well, let me see if you're a person that makes me crazy. If you come to a stop sign in a four-way stop, and a person is at your left that pulled up at the same time as you, what do?
Who's got the right of way?
I wait.
You're wrong. That's not the rules of the road. The rules of the road is two cars each.
That's right. The one on the right has the right of way.
Yeah. That's you.
But
if you
I
wait,
don't trust.
You risk causing an accident because other people, if they are knowledgeable and expecting you to follow the rules of the road, will make assumptions and possibly get into an accident because of your failure to follow the rules of the road.
I know the rules. The rules are the person on the right at an intersection has right of way.
If they arrive at the same time.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's the person who arrives first.
So rather than get into an argument, I just yield. let somebody else go. Have fun. When it's clear that I can go safely, then I go.
Then you are a serious contributor to my declining mental stability. Because
well, I'm glad I was able to do
makes
something for you, John.
That stuff makes me want to own a gun and shoot your tires out for not following the rules of the road.
May I suggest that's a bit more intolerant than I'm comfortable with?
Well, I'm sorry, I don't own a gun.
But seriously, I subscribe to the idea, I'm in a hurry like everybody else, but damn it, not behind the wheel.
I have had people, I've almost hit rear-ended cars on Park Avenue who have, while on Park Avenue, have come to a stop at the corner of Carnation to let somebody come out of Carnation, even though they've got a clear road ahead of them.
Yeah.
And they have the stop sign.
And Carnation has the stop sign. You're on Park Avenue.
So you go.
And they would, just go. They come to a complete stop and wave somebody
It's called
out.
compassion.
That's
to be
not
courteous.
compassion. That's danger.
Yeah.
That's
If
danger.
everyone
if I had
else-
rear-ended that car, it would be my fault for their ignorance.
So look out for compassionate people, John. There's the moral of that story. But serious, I never get to the point that I was talking about. My cruise control does not work at 15.
No, so you won't be able to do it.
My cruise control sometimes works at 20, but doesn't work at 15.
I think that's probably some standard.
Well, whatever, but it doesn't. And I'm just saying that there's a point where you go too far, and I think they're approaching it if they ain't there.
I say if 20 is good enough for a school zone, 20 is the lowest you should go anywhere.
Right.
All right. Dave, growing up in Cumberland, at the end of
We're still
the
waiting
street,
for you.
Thanks. The Cumberland police used to sit there, and get cars on Lonesome Pine Road. You know where Lonesome Pine is, John?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And because that's 15 miles an hour as well. And we would go over there as kids, and sometimes, if there was a break in cars, they said, get us on our bikes, not motorbikes. This is actual pedals.
Mm-hmm.
And we could get to 17 going right past him.
Yeah.
He didn't give us a ticket. We were just having fun. But so, 15 is just too low.
You talk about Cumberland.
Eventually they did put in speed bumps on Lonesome Pine to cut down on that, by the way.
Now, I don't know the names of the roads in Cumberland, but I know how to get around.
All right.
So what is the name of the road? Is it Reservoir Road that borders the dam?
Yeah, that's the Reservoir Road.
Because I had a meeting at
four of them.
Camp Kirana,
Camp Kirana, okay.
right? And I decided to go back down toward Diamond Hill Road. So and this was like at dusk, so many cars parked, and there's no breakdown lane. There's nothing. They're half in the travel lane, and they're all parked. And I said, "Boy, the fishing must be good tonight." No, as I continued down the street, I was just a bunch of parkers and partiers, is what they are.
Uh-huh.
You knew about that because you grew up in that
I
town.
grew up there.
I didn't. That was my first experience because I never really had any. Never really had that.
And the bumps there are because people used to go out to the stretch just after you come down the hill from Corana. They would take that straightaway and they would race and.
Well, yeah, and they got a bunch of speed bumps there now.
Yeah.
They got to have a half a dozen of them.
All right, let's take a break here, again here on the Coffee and program, and we'll get to more stories coming up. And this weather forecast is being brought to you by the YMCA.
A mostly cloudy day today with a high near 75. Showers are 60% likely. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Overnight low of 66, calm wind. Tuesday's weather, partly sunny, high of 83. Wednesday, sunshine and 86. Thursday, a slight chance of a shower in the afternoon, mostly sunny, high of 84. Friday, mostly sunny skies and a high near 82. Saturday, 40% chance of a shower, partly sunny and 79. And on Sunday, showers are 60% likely, more clouds than sun with a high near 78 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the cloudy skies, a little light rain, and 65 degrees. At the YMCA, your goals, your crew, your place. Make this year your strongest yet at the Y. Join today at ymca.org/nearme.
And now, Navigant Credit Union, with 25 branches to serve you, presents another of America's greatest individuals in celebration of her 250th birthday. Susan B. Anthony was the relentless driving force behind the women's suffrage movement in the United States. Born into a Quaker family, she began her career as an activist in the abolitionist, labor rights, and temperance movements before dedicating her life to securing the right to vote for women. In 1869, alongside Elizabeth Cady Stanton, she founded the National Women's Suffrage Association. Anthony was a brilliant organizer and strategist, traveling the country delivering speeches and lobbying Congress. She famously challenged the law in 1872 by casting a ballot in the presidential election that year, for which she and 3 of her sisters, along with other women, were arrested, tried, and fined. She died in 1906, and though she didn't live to see the passage of the 19th Amendment, her years of advocacy laid the groundwork for its ratification in 1920, granting women the right to vote. This profile of a great American has been presented by Navigant Credit Union, with 25 branches to serve you.
This is Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency Director Mark Pappas. I love our Rhode Island shoreline, but our location makes us vulnerable to hurricanes and tropical storms. It's important to prepare as best we can before the storm hits. You can help by knowing your risk, getting flood insurance, and being familiar with your evacuation route. The steps we take today can minimize damage tomorrow. Learn more at riema.ri.gov.
Sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide in Woonsocket.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Dave Richards. We got a note called in, 766-1240, talking about over here in Park Square, Ocean State Job Lot and the Dollar Store. They're both closing. They're both leaving. And rumor has it, and that the caller hears, that housing will be going up there instead of another retail establishment. How can this happen? And what about D'Angelo's? I haven't heard anything about D'Angelo's closing. John, what do you hear?
Job Lot's closed. I needed a bottle of water, so I stopped at the Dollar Tree store, the Dollar Tree, and I went in there to get a bottle of water, which they always have in the cases near the registers. And as I walked in, I realized every shelf beyond the frontage of the store is empty. It's wiped out. So they're probably right on the verge of closing the store.
All right.
D'Angelo's, you don't need if it's the end of August is when the leases run out, then they don't need a lot of lead time to close a restaurant store. They just clear out the inventory, move it to another location.
Yeah.
And the equipment's going to be in the building, maybe stay, maybe go. I'm more interested in the auto parts store, which has a lot of inventory that would have to move.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
all right.
the doctor's office, the dentist's office.
The dentist.
Yeah, Dr. Dodge.
Because Dr. Dodge and the auto parts store are the only 2 locations in the other section. Because from what I understood, when I heard Garrett Mansieri mention it elsewhere, is that there is somebody coming in to look for the site, to use the site for a commercial business. So I don't know. There's 2 rumors now out there. I would trust that Garrett has probably
not
more knowledge about what may be the
he hears
being
things.
expressed.
Yeah, but probably not housing. That a lot would have to be done.
I don't know. I mean, when you think about housing, when you're talking about something that's in 100 units, that's a commercial taxed business.
Okay.
It's not taxed as at a residential rate. It's taxed at a commercial rate. So who knows?
Well, you don't know. I do know this, Joe.
Okay, John.
We're down to 23 people without power now. Power has come on during our break.
Yes, the map looks almost completely
Have you noticed that?
gone. Yeah, so
We have a customer near Privilege Street on Social that has no power here. And that's about it for the city. The rest of the problems are outside of Woonsocket and of no interest to our audience right now.
All right, very good.
And no interest to our audience on Tuesday morning either, or Monday night.
I do know this, for people interested in what's going on in the city. I did notice that Don Martone posted pictures that he took inside the prospective supermarket of the old Sears building up at Walnut Hill.
But
and there's
through the door, right?
Nothing
There is
there.
nothing going on. Yeah, I saw those.
Matter of
pictures,
fact,
too.
I've noticed the last.
He didn't get in the building though, did he? Or was he shot like through the window of a door?
That's hard to do because they're boarded up now.
They are.
And
So
all you
yeah.
get is above, unless you got a step ladder and went above the boards.
Okay.
But
it
when
looked
I've
like
driven
ground
by
level.
the last 3 weeks,
Yeah.
there have been no lights on inside. which is not a good indication.
Still
And
says,
I don't.
In
I
other
don't
words,
want
it doesn't look like they're working in there.
I don't want to presume
Right.
they're not working there. There's no vehicles. There were some people that had gone in 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and cleaned out stuff out of the back.
Okay.
Put it in dumpsters, and I'm just questioning now whether it's something that's actually going to happen or not happen.
well, still says fall 2026.
yeah, I know.
So maybe if we look after
But
Labor Day.
before that, it said spring of 2026.
Well, I understand that too. So, but fall isn't really September. It can make all the way to Thanksgiving, and maybe they're open by then. But if not, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate yet. But I worry about that too because I don't see any action over there
No, nothing
going on either. All right, let's see. I hate.
Well, you really
or
want
really
the thing
dislike.
before Thanksgiving because
Well, you
that's
would
when
think
people
so.
shop for a lot of groceries.
You would think they'd want that, but maybe their timeline is somewhere else.
It's an interesting read in this morning's Providence Journal about things people are not buying these days, and it includes many groceries that people like. People have stopped, no longer buying as much beef, seafood.
Well, who can afford it?
Well,
Sticking to chicken and pork.
Seafood is outrageous.
Yeah,
and I
so
don't
is
get it.
beef.
Yeah.
And
You haven't bought a
so you
steak in a
stick-
while.
In my house, we stick mostly to chicken and
chicken.
pork now because
Yeah.
it's so much more affordable.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't buying chips anymore because they're $5 a bag for a bag of chips. Come on, give me a break.
Well, they learn. You know, when the volume goes down, they can't make it up with price increases. They learn, and
I hate to
they
say it,
stop getting so greedy.
But something I mentioned some time ago that I'm sure is affecting this too is as it affected the clothing stores in their inventory is the GLP-1s, which are having people lose weight. They're changing their sizes. Many people are leaving the realm of 3X and 2X and going back to XLs and Ls. And it's the same thing with dietary choices. People are simply moving away from the stuff that's not good for you because they got medication inside their body that says you don't need this.
Okay.
And it changes. It's changing society nationwide.
All right. I don't know if this bothers you
think
guys.
it's a good idea?
Do I think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
All right. I don't know if this bothers you guys, but it bothers me when reporters do this, and they throw stuff into the story that is not necessary.
Spins it?
No, not spinning it. But
I've been seeing a lot of spinning
here's
recently.
here's a little extra information, but it's really got nothing to do with the story.
Oh, okay.
And it's a woman from Providence who was up here in Woonsocket. She was charged with driving under the influence. She got her car stuck somewhere in West Park Place. Okay. But the opening line in the story...
Heading into the river, mind you.
That's right. And that's the story, that she almost went into the river. Not after a night of partying at the local strip club. This is not the strip club's fault. Now, my question is, John, if she had been partying at, let's say, River Falls or Applebee's or Village Haven, would that have made it into the story?
Only if she was so drunk she'd go off the side of rocks towards the river, and you would have to immediately say, gee, who was the bartender that served her last 3 drinks? Because don't they have to have training to tell them when somebody's too far gone?
Certified
and
situation.
So, not that I think that's going to persuade or dissuade anybody from going to Rhode Island Dolls, but it does merit investigation as to who served her those drinks.
I know, true. Now, the police officer did ask how much she had to drink, and her answer was, quote, some vodka drinks. Well, that narrows it down. But was she drunk before she got to the club? I don't know.
Again, it's the responsibility of a trained bartender to know the difference.
But some drunks hide it so well.
Oh, yeah.
And some don't. Some are fall down loud drunks, and others are not. So I don't know. I just hate when they throw it in there.
I thought it was humorous, but not so humorous.
Well, it's humorous because no one got hurt.
Yeah.
And so when you're stuck in your car and your blood alcohol is 0.216, which is really high, trying to find your way back to Providence, and you're yelling for help out of your Hyundai.
That's even higher than the old standards before they went to 0.08. That's wow. That's a lot. If I could get back to the council meeting, because there is something even more interesting, I think, that's going
50
on
miles per
tonight
hour?
than 15.
Okay.
Is the lease renewal with open doors for the homeless shelter. If you read the draft of the lease that they're looking to renew with them, it changes the bed count from 50 to 75.
Oh, it grew.
So I believe Open Doors wanted 100. The city has said no, 75. So they've set the new lease at 75, and the payment per resident, I guess, however that works out in terms of their payments, is the same. However, in another spot, Pat Ford, the Libertarian of the Year, is reporting in his Facebook page that Open Doors is expecting to not continue their operation of the site in Woonsocket because it's unaffordable for them as an organization. The costs are too high, and so they probably want the city to lower their charge, and there's something of a dust-up going on there in terms of conflict about what's expected of each party. So look for that to become a story over the next couple of weeks.
Could Open Doors just pull out and just we're not running it anymore?
Well, if they don't sign a new lease, then as of September 30th, they're done.
Wow. Okay.
There's been a rocky relationship from the first the first part of the first lease, and there have been some words going back and forth between the two of them.
I mean, they like any nonprofit organization relying on government subsidization, they get paid by the state for each day that they do whatever they do inside the facility, and then it's up to them to supply and to staff and to do all the things that are necessary. And the city charges them a fee for the building because it's a city-owned building. And they're just saying that their costs are too high, apparently, and the city's saying, gee, that's too bad. We need this money on this building. And
the way I heard it was that there's a certain number of people where it makes financial sense for them. If they don't let them serve that many people
then they can't
at the same time, it's not worth it for them.
Which means they're not losing money on every person, but their margin is not sufficient, so they need more volume to cover the margins.
So they may have gone into it with 50, saying, all right, well, when it renews, we're going to get 100.
Plus,
and then it's going to work out, but then it didn't happen.
Despite the city's claim that all of the work for the structure was taken care of, apparently there's some issues with either the HVAC system or the roof or something that's not quite right still. And that has to be accounted for and accommodated, and I believe I'm going to go reread the lease again, but it looks like the city is probably making some commitment to take care of some of that.
Fixing stuff? Okay. John, is this just a political, or does this happen all the time? The confirmation vote by the General Assembly on Luis Matos going to the Supreme Court is not going to happen until after the November elections.
Yes.
This is according
why
to
why would any elected official want to put themselves at risk of doing the right or wrong thing? So it's logical because they don't know that it's going to be the same governor.
It's hot potato stuff.
But you will know how political and how powerful Joe Shekarchi is if, in waiting until after November, if Dan McKee is no longer going to be governor, then what does the General Assembly do? Do they say, oh, never mind, we're going to wait till January and let the new governor decide if they want to continue down this path or not? And
why does that sound so probable?
Does that sound what?
Probable.
It does sort of feel that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Which would
so this is not a lock.
But it would be consistent with what we've come to expect of our General Assembly.
Okay.
All fine individuals taken one by one, but as a group kind of really disappointing.
They just said in a joint statement between the House Speaker and the Senate President, they said it's just not appropriate to consider any nominee until after the November 3rd general election.
That's the party line.
Because there are going to be somebody offended by it on either side. So you don't want to risk a vote based upon a rational decision for the most qualified person to get the job. If you hear my sarcasm on that. Politicians do that kind of thing.
All right, before we take a break, remember, things could always be worse. We could be, I don't know if you heard about this, John, but we could be in the city of Lawrence, Massachusetts. Have you heard? Their mayor is facing federal charges.
Yes. And where's he an immigrant from?
The Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic, okay. A criminal complaint was reportedly filed in U.S. District Court, and he was arrested Friday morning. Court documents list 2 charges: wire fraud and money laundering. It's alleged he used over $1.5 million in COVID tax relief funds for his tire business. Wow, to fund his political campaign and to cover personal expenses.
Just brings to mind the old Bugs Bunny quote.
What a maroon?
What a maroon! What an ignoramus!
Yeah.
All right. Now he's still innocent, John.
He is.
Right.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Must be a cultural thing.
All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program, but more coming your way.
No, it's a constitutional thing. He's still innocent.
And we're going to talk with Leslie Page when we come back.
OM 1240.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
We're delighted so many of you are enjoying our Levitamp concerts on radio and TV. But come to the park for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Six Flags New England Amusement Park. To win, you must go to the Friday night concert. Take a picture of yourself having fun at the concert. Post that picture to your social media pages using the caption #MusicMoves. Then show your post to Amy at the merch tent during the concert. Everyone who does this will receive a chance in the drawing for the 4 Six Flag tickets each week. Winner announced on stage at the end of the concert. You don't need to be in the park for the drawing, but you must be in the park at some time during the concert to win the tickets to Six Flags, courtesy of ON Radio and TV. We're local and live at 99.5.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Dave Richards, and we're being joined from the Woonsocket Harris Public Library by Leslie Page. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Nice of you to join us today.
Oh, thank you.
What's happening at the library? Tell us all about it.
Well, our summer hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and we will be closed on Saturdays until after Labor Day, which is coming quickly.
Very quickly.
We offer self-service photocopying and faxing, and our reference department provides notary services free of charge. This week, the Children's Department is offering Sensory Exploration Fun today at 10 a.m., Kids Crafts with Lee Tuesday, August 18th at 3 p.m., and Music for Preschoolers with Mr. Guitar Man on Wednesday, August 19th at 11:30 a.m. For more information about all children's programs, please call 767-4122. The Teen Department this week is offering Storytelling Through Theater on Thursday, August 20th at 3 p.m. For more information on all teen programs, please call 767-4132. Tonight at 6 p.m., URI Master Gardener Richard Souls will give a talk on herbs, what the science actually says. The next Tech Tuesday will be on August 18th at 2 p.m. Call 767-4124 for more information or to register for any of these programs. And on Saturday, August 22nd at 11 a.m., join us in the Woonsocket Historical Society for a walking tour of Main Street. We will begin in front of the Museum of Work and Culture. And on Sunday, August 23rd at 1 p.m., join us for a walking tour of Precious Blood Cemetery. We will meet at the front gate. Both tours will last for an hour and a half, and these walking tours are made possible in part by a grant from the Rhode Island Office of Library and Information Services, using funds from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. All of the latest information about programs, services we offer, and how to reach us can be found at our website, woonsocketlibrary.org, or on our Facebook page. And if you have any questions or would like more information about anything I've mentioned today, please call us at 769-9044. And we look forward to seeing you at the library.
Okay, Leslie,
Yeah.
we have saved a story just for you.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to run it by Leslie and see what she has to say
Oh, my.
about this. So,
I don't like to be hit with these things.
so you're on the hot seat. So there's a new law in Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
Maura Healey signed it, and it's supposed to protect librarians, such as yourself, and teachers.
Right.
Governor Maura Healey has signed the Freedom to Read Act.
Okay.
Under the law, a book cannot be banned or removed from libraries and or schools until a public notice has been posted and a review hearing held. Is that the same case in Rhode Island?
Rhode Island just passed a wide-ranging law about things like that last year. But
Do you have the same thing?
Yeah, we have that. It seems fair, at least, to give it a hearing, and the people who are making a complaint about it should have actually read the book and know what's going on, because a lot of times
That makes way too much sense.
I know.
Read them.
Because sometimes they're just told, this is a bunch of books that are terrible. These are books that are terrible. You need to ban them, and they'll just
All right,
go.
I have a question about this then. Obviously, that's the process for the exiting of a book. Who decides?
That was our next question.
What is coming into the
The
library?
folks
Because
carrying the
it's not-
pitchforks
it's not
and
the Library of
torches.
Congress. It's
No,
not.
no.
It's not.
We all come
Boston
up. We all come
Public
up
Library.
with policies. We have a selection policy.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Amongst
based
the
on a
the
lot of
librarians.
yes. Every library has a selection policy, and it's based on a lot of criteria. You don't just say, "Oh, this book looks. Oh, we need a book. We need a book on this topic, so that one looks good. We'll pick it." We give it. We give it consideration. Everything gets a lot of consideration, and librarians who choose are professionals, and they,
Yep.
hopefully know what they're doing.
The law in Massachusetts says it's there to protect school staff and librarians from professional, civil, or criminal penalties for whatever choice
Right.
of
It's a
library
defensive
materials are
move
brought in.
against the present administration.
Yeah.
Right.
And then one more follow up to that. Then I guess my question is: can groups or individuals petition a library board to bring a certain book that they want into the library?
There can be suggestions made, sure. And again, they go through a process of just determination of whether they fit the criteria, whether they fit our needs. A lot of times we do add things that people suggest.
Okay.
We brought it up last week when this came up, because I know there's a certain segment of the population, and I don't know if you had ever dealt with them, that said the Harry Potter series is bad because it's wizards and witches and how it's anti-religious and things
Right.
like that.
You're all going to heck
That's right.
for reading that stuff.
Have you had to deal with situations like that?
We've occasionally had people make a complaint that this shouldn't be in this section or that shouldn't be in that section, and we tell them
It's a
we
child's
have
book.
and we tell them we have a process.
Okay.
And if you want to pursue it, we have a form to fill out. We'll follow up with you. You can make a presentation to our board of trustees.
Okay.
Very few people actually
Follow through.
follow through.
Okay, all right. And we also thought, Tom Sawyer's got that bad word in it,
It does.
and do people say, well, it should be banned? And the Wizard of Oz, by the way.
I know there are lots of them that.
I love when libraries have banned book week, and they bring out all the books that you shouldn't read.
Yeah, I know.
These are the ones. These are the bad books, so
Bad
you shouldn't
books.
be. You shouldn't be reading them.
Many times people look at it and they'll have judgment. Is the use of bad words gratuitous, or is it part of
The vernacular.
describing the scene, or which would include the image that people would get if they were living at that time?
Right.
Well, that's Tom
and that
Sawyer.
sort of thing, right? And is it that, and is it part of conveying an idea, or is it just let's just throw a bunch of F-bombs in there to get an R rating?
You should get out there more and see how many F-bombs are getting thrown around every day these days.
I didn't mean social media. I was talking about the library.
No, I'm talking about just walking the streets and going to places, because
Oh.
I think
There's a lot more
not just
swearing going
not
on
just
now than
in
it was
books,
when I was growing
Not
up.
just in books, but even in magazines and printed stories and journalism and television, it's become common to use language that is commonly used language now that is 40, 50 years ago would never have been allowed because
Right.
it's so offensive. But the reality was even 40 or 50 years ago it was used fairly commonly.
But fairly commonly in different contexts and
yes.
different situations. You didn't have bumper stickers that came right out with the four-letter
not
words.
everybody was a truck driver in a naval staff.
Well, sure. In groups, in certain groups where it was tolerated or accepted, bad language had been used routinely. But in other places like churches and bumper stickers, you didn't. You cleaned it up.
Fair enough.
Even sailors would clean up their act if they went out.
Look what it's done to the vanity plate business in the state of Rhode Island.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Well, we're all dealing with AI in our own way.
We are?
Well, some of us are.
Oh, okay.
An AI agent running a San Francisco store has fired its first human employee.
Yeah. Oh, but did you hear?
Well, there's a reason.
What the infractions were?
Andon Labs said Thursday that Luna, the AI manager of Andon Market, an experimental retail store run entirely by AI, decided to fire a human employee because the employee had repeated lateness and other workplace issues. Logs show the employee arrived late 17 of 23 shifts. But it doesn't say how, were they 1 minute late or were they 10 minutes late or were they 30 minutes late?
So the question is, why
you're
is
late.
AI so tolerant?
Yeah. The violations were revealed.
17 of 23, they'd have been out of here. And I'm a tolerant guy.
The violations were revealed only after Andon Labs asked Luna to search her memory for its policies and determine if the worker was still a good fit. And Luna said no.
So we're at the point where we're already letting it run things?
Well, this is an experiment, and we'll
Okay.
see how it's going to work out there in San Francisco. Market sounds like it's fruit and veggies and other things like that. And if you're not showing up for your shift, or you're continuously late for your shift, okay.
Another takeaway
We're
I
done.
see here is
That's funny.
that some wise people may be offloading certain tasks to AI. There still is a very clear and present need for human beings.
Yes.
And I think that's a big takeaway there. They need human beings.
In case something goes
However,
wrong, yeah.
if the human being is not going to act right, it's going to be treated the same way as the AI. If the AI doesn't pass muster,
Okay.
it's going to be replaced.
A new survey says nearly half of American workers say they will never be able to fully retire. The 2026 Retirement Expectation Survey from financial services company Thrivent says retirement fears are high. The survey found only 58% of workers think they'll have enough money to retire on time, and 36% of workers expect to have to continue earning a paycheck in retirement.
Well, they should count their blessings, because
they can
100
work.
years ago, the only choices you had were physical incapacity to function in society or death were your retirement choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, you one or the other? Okay.
Now,
You got a choice.
36% of people think they might retire.
The survey was taken by over 2,000 American adults, and I've told Dave this before in the past. When I've had to take Uber drives, most of the time, I would say 75% of the time, the driver is a retired individual. And
Oh, yeah.
why? They're looking to do something, and they
extra-
want to get out of the house.
Most of it's looking to do something.
They're looking to do
Of
something.
course.
Yeah. I said, well, this works perfect.
You've
for
got
me, doesn't it?
abilities,
Sure
you've got
does.
talents. Why would you disrespect them and waste them? You know,
That's
the
right.
guy who gave them to you just might take them away.
They're right. So
The Uber driver I spoke with that gave me a ride one time, courtesy of the car dealer that was servicing my car, was when I asked him about it, he says the money averages out about $20 an hour for him.
does it? Okay.
Yeah. It's not going to get rich, but it's beer money.
But it's
that'll help
adds
pay
on
the
to his
bills.
Social
whatever.
Security, so that's
Or golf
fine.
money. I've had people
Golf
working
money.
here who are just doing it for
Just
golf money.
Okay. And there's a new plastic surgery trend on the rise. Oh, good.
Oh, God.
The internet is calling it, quote, zombie filler, unquote.
Oh,
and it
no.
involves the injecting fat from corpses. This is gruesome. Plastic surgeons say the Ozempic craze is leaving patients with little to no fat, causing them to get it from other sources. So the GLP-1s that are making you buy new clothes, John, is making you lose your fat in your face.
Now people are getting too skinny and they're getting corpses to donate
Yes,
fat cells that
to
they
them.
won't be needing anymore.
And it doesn't say, I wish it told you, but how are we extracting the fat from the corpses?
Oh, let's not go there.
And
Joe.
who's doing that?
Let's not go there.
funeral director?
All I know is the warning to people who are using it, especially among the elderly, is you better get your weights out because you got to develop some muscle tone.
That's the thing.
To get it right, to get a proper balance.
It's back to the old times.
Don't overdo the proteins, but
yeah,
lean meats and decent amount of protein from other sources is good.
Yeah, but if they're retired, can they afford meats?
Well, you can chicken and pork is affordable still. Because
but what if you don't like pork?
Who doesn't like pork?
What if you're Jewish? Come on.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Eat more chicken.
It just reminds me of years ago when grave robbing was a crime. It still is.
Well, yeah, right.
But if you got a body to the medical person, well, then everything was fine. And here's your $20 and be on your way.
Yeah, they call that harvesting.
Right.
Sort of like votes.
Harvesting votes.
Speaking of public service, before we close the show,
John.
I did look up you can now go to the Secretary of State's website and look up your sample ballots for the primary elections.
Nice.
They have a Republican ballot. They have a Democrat ballot.
Then they have a Woonsocket
ballot. If you're a Republican or a Democrat and you want to vote in your party's primary, there's there. If you're unaffiliated, you can vote in either one of them without changing your affiliation. And they have the local only for just the mayor's race that anybody can choose to vote in without voting in a primary for the statewide offices and the things.
So you
such
could
as that.
conceivably in Woonsocket get two ballots to fill out.
Go to the Secretary of State's website. Somewhere in there it'll ask you get to the button for the sample ballots, and they're there for you to check out.
All right,
Johnny, you're saying now, in the past I've seen where they took the local questions or people and put them at the bottom of the state ballot you chose.
Well, the one...
are there actually two physical ballots?
No, they have three separate ballots, one Democrat, one Republican, where the state offices are on the left two columns, and the Woonsocket people are on the right column.
So they are on the same piece of paper.
And then on the third page, there is just the Woonsocket race for the four candidates running for mayor.
Alrighty, we're going to wrap the show up for today. Thank you very much for listening. It's always appreciated.
We're just getting going.
I know. But John, thanks for coming in today.
Been a pleasure.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Leslie, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And Dave, thanks for sticking around.
Always a pleasure, Joe. And remember, tonight, Woonsocket City Council meeting at 7 o'clock on your favorite local radio station.
Very good. Stay tuned for Blessings and Good Health with Kim Garnos coming up after the 9 o'clock news.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.